Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center here in Santa Barbara. And as you can see, I'm located in our office today. And that means that I am sharing today's broadcast. But first, I want to share the magic of this past week. Wednesday, I received a beautiful message from our friend in Norway who wrote, "Thank you for expanding my consciousness." And I immediately forwarded this to Genya. On Friday, the universe celebrated. A beautiful being called David here on earth brought in, welcomed, received, and entertained Simeon on his broadcast here from the Advancement Center. Simeon spoke the words we all long to hear. A new era has begun, and Robert is so pleased. He introduced Simeon many, many years ago. David has paved the way for others as the first who listened closely and opened himself to experience Simeon. We here at the Advancement Center have been welcoming our expanding family, with each one of us remembering our origin and joining together up here on the elevated platform of living, where the world of magic and miracles is showing the way of the future. While we were still living in Australia, Micki Sever discovered Robert Young on the internet and called him. The year was 2010. The next year, Robert was invited to speak in Petaluma, California, to an assembled group, and also to tour the length of California, almost to San Diego. Micki kept track of our travels and met us as many times as possible. In other words, we have known Micki for 10 years. And each time we meet, we love her more. Her generous spirit, talents, and gifts are limitless. And personally, it is Micki's feedback after my Sunday broadcasts that are so deeply appreciated, because she sees in a most expansive and magical way. Micki is so tuned in that once, when her phone was not working, she picked up on Genya's Wednesday transmission and shared what she received. It was my great joy to invite Micki to take my place as broadcaster today and take her rightful place in front of the Advancement Center Rock here in Santa Barbara. Thank you, Micki, for accepting my invitation. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Barbara, for the warm and generous invitation to be here today with you all. Wow. The energy that I'm feeling is just filled with so much joy and so much excitement. My spirit is overflowing. So if you see any water leaving my eyes, we call that leaking here. And that's the overflow of joy and excitement. When Barbara reached out to me and asked me, I immediately said yes to this. And on Wednesday this past week, she asked me to put together the copy and the image for today's broadcast. And I got that Wednesday night, and I stayed up with excitement, scrolling through these notes I take of ideas and words that come to me for lyrics or poems. And I came across what I wrote, that your music plays the stars in the heavens, and I knew that was it. So I immediately started writing the copy and sent that off to Barbara. And next was to look for the picture. And I found this image that for me describes everyone's music. I've been writing poems and lyrics for a long time, and I stopped for a while. And it was a couple of years ago. There was a discussion around the table, and there's been other times too, but about the flow of life and going with the flow. And I had been afraid to write again. But that night, I was at home in San Jose, and I knew others were gathering here in Santa Barbara for dinner, and I felt moved to write a poem about the flow that I'd like to read for you. And it's called The River. As the river flows, as the river plays, dancing in sunlight, bubbling with laughter along the way. As the river wakes, as the river flows, answering to anyone who drinks from it, take me to where magic goes. As the river is deep, as the river is wide, love can be found everywhere. Just take a look inside. As the river sings, as the river gives, love upon light, upon love, upon light is once how we all lived. As the river rises, as the river fills, bubbling up in our infinite heart, where dreams coming true is real. That was a big step for me to write that and send it and share it. And I'm happy to do so again today. It reminds me of nature. And today we're talking about music. And nature is always playing its music. Yesterday I drove down here, and it's quite a trek, about 4.5, 5 hours, depending how fast I go. And it's like a broadcast in itself. The flow of the road with the other cars and drivers and nature. And yesterday was a glorious day. I counted, as I often do, 18 hawks. 3 were standing post, and the other 15 were in flight. One of them, or 2 of them, really struck me, and it showed me the music in nature once again. One was at its post, and he was just so proud and majestic and showing who he was and just being. His music was so loud, and he was broadcasting it for everyone. It just lit up the road. The second one, I was driving over an overpass, and as I'm going down this way, a hawk was coming up on the other side, and we met at the peak. And my mouth went open, and so did hers. And it was like we were singing to each other. It was such a wonderful surprise. And at that moment, I just remember the words that the most thrilling things that come out of your life or come into your life are a surprise. And that was one of them. Again, nature playing its music and showing its music all the time. I just loved counting all the hawks. There were several, about 10 turkey vultures and their wingspan, I just think is so beautiful. And I love how they help with the transformation of Earth. It was just everything was in harmony and peace. And listening to that, I didn't have music on, I didn't have to. It was all around me. And for me today, the message is it's all in you. You're showing me your music all the time, and it's so beautiful. Again, I'm leaking. The beauty is amazing. And I just want to hear more. I just want to hear more. Yesterday was a symphony driving down here. And today, sitting outside with Barbara earlier as we ate our breakfast, a hummingbird came by and gave her song. A bird in the tree, I couldn't see it, we couldn't see it, but it was laughing. It was a call, a song I'd never heard before. And it was just glorious how it wanted to be part of the conversation, the musical conversation that's going around and through us and all around all of us, all the time, all the time. No words have to be spoken. It's just there, like this rock. It is there and broadcasting. It's been a glorious time here. And each day is just filled with so much music whenever I'm here around people, beings, great beings that share that same vision. And I know you all share it too as well. You hear the music in a baby's giggle. You hear it in a babbling brook, the waves of the ocean, the rays of the sun, in the gentle cool breeze. It's all there. And you're contributing to that all the time. I mentioned that I wrote the copy for the invitation, and from that title, that your music plays the stars in the heaven, I decided to write again, and I'd like to share that with you. Your music plays the stars in the heavens, note by note, touching the awakened sky. Your music plays the stars in the heaven, moving it forward, letting your love fly. Don't hesitate, the stars are waiting for you, brightly smiling in a night sea of electric blue. Venus is twirling, anticipating the dance that begins with your song, causing meteors to gaze in a trance. The beat begins, your elegance in its wake, causing Jupiter to move and the mysteries to elevate. A melody of magic opening up the dreaming sky with a comet of possibilities as joy watches with a knowing eye. Arms wide open, wrapped in the strength of 1,000,000,000,000 golden suns, the moon at your feet, connecting the all to the one. And with the sweetest timbre, letting the music gently play, the stars answer in delight, watching as you light the way. Your music plays the stars in the heavens, note by note, touching the expansive sky. Your music plays the stars in the heaven, creating it all and letting your spirit fly. It's been my great joy to be with you today and share that with you. And from all of us at the Advancement Center, I wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and a magical and musical future. Thank you.